Hello, my friends. Welcome to the What's Up and Makeup chat. I decided to put a little bit of actual makeup on today for the chat. Just a little bit. Just this much to make it look like put a little effort in today. Today is my day off. Like my day off, I do chat, and then I have the day off with the family. So I don't usually wear makeup on Sundays, but I'll spend a little makeupy today. So today we're going to be talking about brushes, makeup brushes specifically. Let me get you guys get over to the actual chat window where I can see you. All right, hear myself talking. Good morning, everybody. If you're coming here on replay, if this video has ended at this point, if it's not live anymore, I'm going to take just a minute and say hi to the people that are here, and then we'll get into talking about brushes. So Kyla, good to have you back. Hi, Kyla. Good morning, Leanne. Yes. Angle blush brushes. We're going to be talking about those. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Krista. Good morning, Leslie. If I can get one hand on, I got to put my coffee down. Like I'm holding on to it for dear life or something. I kind of am. Good morning, Steph. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, different Steph, Alvarado. Good morning, Flory. Good morning, Chantal. Good morning, Gina. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Poetry Trick. Oh, I know your name. Amanda. Good morning, Amanda. And I'm so glad. Well, I'm glad you can come back on Periscope. You got to come back on Periscope, Chantal, sometime. She says she hasn't been able to come on Periscope for a long time, so she's glad she's able to join chat this morning. I'm glad that you're here. Good morning, Boston Barbie Doll. Good morning, Fort Worth Famous. 7 minutes of the show first, finally. Nice. Thank you very much, Nicole. She said I look nice. Good morning, Ashley in Toronto. Good morning, Kay. Hey, Kay. How you doing, girlfriend? I'm glad you're here. Let's see. I'm doing great. How are you, Nikki? Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Helen. And, okay. So we've said our good mornings of the people that are here so far. Oh, it says more comments below. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Stephanie B. So we got Stephanie B, and we got Stephanie A. And good morning, Sherry. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about makeup brushes. But before we talk about makeup brushes, I want to introduce you to my little friends. They're all right here, all of my friends. A lot of them are very, very similar because I use them for the same purpose. And I just grab one or the other. I find that I gravitate towards certain kinds of makeup brushes. And I'll have to see what you all think. Good morning, Lipstick and Scrubs. So anyway, I want to see whether you guys gravitate toward the same kind of brushes or not. And I'd love to know, why is my son yelling? John, what are you doing? Ask Daddy, I'm in chat. Ask Daddy, I'm in chat. Mowing the lawn? I'm in chat, go and ask him. All right, I'm gonna close the door. Daddy's supposed to be watching the kids for me, but he's mowing the lawn. The kids have an obscure question that I have no idea what they're asking. Something about some trees that they want to climb or something. I don't even know. All right, so one thing that I really want to talk about first is that you can find really good brushes for cheap. Don't feel like you need to spend a ton of money on brushes, because I have found personally that I can do really nice makeup looks with like Eco Tools brushes and Real Techniques brushes and e.l.f. brushes. I'm going to show you some e.l.f. brushes today. They're absolutely amazing. Oh, Cassie, hello, Cassie. Cassie from Thrift Thick, if you're not following her, she's so fab. She's actually probably my favorite channel right now. You know, I go through phases of my absolute favorite, but I think Cassie is my favorite channel right now. Thrift Thick. You need to go watch her. She's amazing. Oh, Kay said she just ordered the Hakuhodo brush set from Sephora. Oh my goodness. I hope that it's amazing. Oh my goodness, those things are really expensive. All right, Tabitha says I'm kind of grossed out over those Charlotte Tilbury brushes made of squirrel hair. The ones from the show today. They're made up of all kinds of things. And you know, I honestly, I wish I knew more about the difference between using a synthetic brush versus using a natural hair brush. I honestly, like, I should have looked it up, but I didn't. I know I'm so unprepared. I really just want to tell you about the brushes that I have and why I like them. So that was just one thing I didn't do. So let's go ahead and get into face brushes first. And let's talk about like foundation brushes. Now for primer, I don't usually use a brush for primer. I usually pat it on with my fingers like this. And then sometimes I'm lazy and I just rub it on. But for primer, I don't use a brush. But for foundation, I do. So let's talk about some different kinds of foundation brushes and which ones I like the best. I'd love to know what kinds you like the best. For a foundation brush, I'm looking for density. I feel like I really, really need lots of density in my foundation brush, because if a brush is too fluffy, the foundation will cake up inside the brush and it won't apply evenly. So it's really important to have a nice, thick, dense brush. So that's where, if you're going to invest in a makeup brush, I feel like investing in a foundation brush is kind of the way to go. But you don't have to invest a lot. So some of the ones that I've been using, like for example, this one here, this is by Sephora. This is a mineral powder brush, but I use it for foundation. Do you see the density of that? It's super, super dense. You can use this for mineral powder, meaning like a powder foundation. It works well for that too, but I use it for liquid foundations as well, and I really, really like this a lot. I'm trying to find a less expensive one. All right, here's one from JCat Beauty that I use for foundation. You can see the density. So for foundation brushes, they can be flat, they can be round. It's all about personal preference, as long as it's dense. That's my personal opinion. The ones that are like this, you know, I got this at Generation Beauty. This is a Makeup Forever straight professional brush. It's a flat foundation brush. I don't like these. And I'll tell you why I don't like these. Because I feel like I'm painting my face like Bob Ross. Like, I'm like painting with a paintbrush. Like, it just feels wrong to me. I don't know. I just like, it just feels weird. And I know that like a lot of people love flat foundation brushes, and there's nothing wrong with them. Absolutely nothing wrong with that flat foundation brushes. It's just a personal preference of me not liking to paint my face, like slather it on. I just feel like I should be painting a wall with a brush like this. I don't know. That's a personal preference, but a lot of people really, really love flat foundation brushes. So that's an option as well. I need to try them again. Another option, there's a brand called Outer Beauty that no one ever talks about. They're at the different makeup shows. They're at IMATS every year. And this is a tapered kabuki brush. This is a really, really nice brush to get up under your eyes, to really finely detail around your face. It's super, super dense. The face brush set, I think, is like $60, and I think you get like 5 face brushes. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. It's absolutely amazing. Yesenia says she loves her $7.99 Amazon foundation brush. And that's one thing I want to talk about too, is how to find a foundation brushes without even being able to touch them. So if you have it, it's in a package at the store. You know, you're looking at an e.l.f. brush and it's in a package at the store, or you're looking on Amazon. And the big thing you want to look for foundation brushes is the density. Look and see how closely, densely packed those bristles are. And you can buy a great foundation brush without ever touching it. So let's see what else. Oh, this one I wanted to talk about specifically. This is the Bare Minerals. This was the serum foundation brush. You can see there's a little hole cut in this. That's to put the serum inside. This is totally not even necessary. Like, I really feel like maybe I should try to take this back to Sephora, even though it's like a year old or something, because it's a waste of money. I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong. It works great. But this little bowl here is just not necessary, and it's like a flat kabuki brush or something. Like, it's not necessary. So I don't feel like you need this. If you see a brush like this, don't bother. Don't bother. So those are kind of the different foundation brushes that I own. One other one that I really, really love, which isn't necessary, is the Face 2 by Marc Jacobs. This is a stupidly expensive brush. I bought this when I was out with Sandra, and we were just doing some shopping. You know what I mean? Like going out with the girls, you know, like one girl, you know, going out with your girlfriend and just shopping and just buying stupid stuff. That's what happened with this. But I do really like this brush. It's a fantastic brush. So yeah, Real Techniques. The Real Techniques, this is the Expert Face Brush. I really do like this a lot. It works great. The only thing I don't like about it is it's so small. It takes a long time to work, you know, in comparison with like one of these or like this. You know, it just takes more time because there's less of it there. But if you don't care about that, I mean, this is ridiculously cheaper than like this. This is like 5 times the price of this. So, I mean, it's a nice brush. It's just, it takes a little bit of effort. I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments that you guys have been putting about face brushes, because I not only want you to learn from me, but I want to learn from you as well. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll up a bit and see what people have been saying about brushes. Okay. Okay, I got back up to the top with Tabitha and the squirrel hair. All right. Does anyone know? Jackie says, does anyone know what Morphe brush is equal to the Sigma E40? That's definitely a thing for them, not for me. I own one Morphe brush, and I don't even have it anymore. I got rid of it because it was horrible, and I'm really sad to say that because I wish I could show you. It was just too fluffy. I couldn't get product to go on it. But we'll talk about that when we get to the powder brushes. Sorry, Cassie. Didn't mean to hear Cassie said I embarrassed her. All right, Smurfette Smurf. She's the first time ever being able to make it to chat. So glad you're here, Lupe. Katie. I want to hear what you guys are thinking about brushes. So I'm reading all of them. Let's see. Helen says she just bought the Wayne Goss ones. Oh my goodness, I own one and I love it. Steph says she uses the e.l.f. Studio brushes. They are very, very nice. The e.l.f. Studio brushes. We're going to get into some of those as well. Jean says she's trying to get on quickly. It's okay, Jean. You're not late, girlfriend. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Stephanie A wants to know if you're supposed to use a brush for primer because I use my hands too. I use my hands for a primer. Yesenia says she loves her Luxie brushes. I love mine too. We're going to show some of those as well. Kay, I think, was saying she loves my flat, what you call it? This one. I think she was saying she loves this brush. And I'm telling you, it's a personal preference thing. It's totally, there's nothing wrong with that brush. Nothing wrong with it. Hello, Emma. Good to have you here. Jean says, which brush are you always using on your Periscope for foundation? I am always using this, probably. This is the round kabuki brush by Outer Beauty. I love these face brushes. They're amazing. This is the flat kabuki. This is the brush set. Well, at least some of the pieces of brush set that you can get from Outer Beauty. And I am not affiliated with them in any way. They don't know that I'm making this video. I don't benefit from anything. I just happen to be very attached to this brand. So these are 3 Outer Beauty brushes. I use these probably the most. They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. I keep telling them every time I see them, I was like, you guys have got to get out on YouTube because your brushes are fabulous. But they don't. I don't know. Poetry Trick Amanda says, I recently purchased the Wayne Goss anniversary set and love them. So soft with them. I actually managed to make my Asian hooded eyes open up and look larger. Yay. Very cool, man. All right. Hi, Krista. Krista at mymonthlyobsessions.com. Nikki doesn't like the flat ones either. Kay doesn't like them. Oh, she doesn't like the flat ones either. They're good for putting masks on, Kay says. I've heard that too. Great. Thanks for bringing that up, Kay. I appreciate that. Stephanie, I always feel like they leave streaks on my face. The flat ones probably. Yesenia says she loves her $7.99 Amazon foundation brush. Leslie says those flat foundation brushes are great for masks. Yes, awesome. Krista doesn't like them either. So I guess I'm not the only one that doesn't like the flat brushes. Emma says I think the flat brushes would be great for a thin foundation, but nothing that she has. Everybody's talking about the Wayne Goss brushes. Kay's talking about those. Kyla's saying all my brushes are Amazon. As long as they work, I'm good. Exactly. Leanne, I'm not a flat. She doesn't like flat foundation brushes either. I'm trying to find some different suggestions. Nikki says she loves the flat top kabuki brushes. It's an addiction for real. Let's see. Anyone remember prescriptives? I don't. That was before my time, I guess. Ashley says the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush is amazing for foundation. Up and Up from Boston Barbie Doll makes them really good for drugstore. And I don't think I think I might own an Up and Up brush. Not too many, but like you have to just kind of look at it in the packaging and do your judgment there. I'm just giggling at a couple different comments. Tabitha Clark wants to know about how everyone feels about Morphe brushes. Like I said, I only own one, and I was hesitant to buy more. I think there's different lines of Morphe brushes where I think some are higher quality than others. So I would say don't go for the cheapest ones based on my experience with one of them. Sarah says she loves her Tarte foundation brushes. Oh, that's another thing I should bring out is this Tarte brush set. I love this Tarte brush set. This just came out for the holidays, and it's pretty fabulous. It's got this brush in here. This one is supposed to be, I think, for foundation, but I don't like it for foundation. I use it for powder. I feel like the foundation cakes up inside for some reason, even though it is pretty dense. I don't think it's quite dense enough. Like if you look at, I don't know, you can't even tell, but this is one that totally confused me when I got it because I thought it was going to be good for for foundation, for liquid foundation, but it's really nice for powder foundation. So this one totally tricked me. I never would have been able to know that from this. So Emily says, Jen, natural bristles should only be used for powder. The bristles will absorb too much product to use with a cream or liquid, so always use synthetic when using non-powders. Thank you, Emily, for that. And then makeup sponges. I don't have a makeup sponge right now. I don't think that is, because I used them and they got old and I threw them away and I have not repurchased, so I don't have a makeup sponge, but those are also pretty amazing. I really like my makeup sponges when I actually own one. So that's a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up, Stephanie A. So I'm going to go ahead and Tarte and It Cosmetics Real Techniques brushes. Thrift Thick, Cassie says she swears by the Outer Beauty brushes because I made her get them when we were at IMATS together, and she loves the e.l.f. Studio line brushes for her eyes. Unfortunately, I don't think that they make, Outer Beauty makes good eye brushes. They make, I'll show you like the concealer brushes and stuff that they make. Nikki says she loves the Julep brushes. Stephanie says the Morphe M502 is almost identical to the original Sigma E40, so that's good to know. And then Tabitha says she has her synthetic brushes that came off eBay and she loves them. So yeah, you just have to look at the density and see if they're good. Nikki says the Julep ones are underrated. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and skip down. I apologize if I missed some of your comments because there's too much to read. I could spend forever reading all these comments. But one thing that's really important to me, and I think to a lot of people that are watching this on replay, is if you feel like you dropped some gems and I didn't say it out loud in the video, please take a second after we're done with the chat and come back and leave a comment so that your thoughts can stay and so that I can see them, because I can't read them all or else we'll be here all day. One foundation brush I want to show you that I think is really, really weird is this Skin Perfecting brush by Eco Tools. I have a lot of trouble figuring out what in the world to do with this thing. It's like, it's not quite dense enough for liquid foundation, but it's really weird for powder. Like, I guess maybe I could use it for under eye concealer, but it's kind of big for that. I mean, it's just a weird brush. I don't know. I don't use that one very much. All right, next thing I'm going to talk about is powder brushes, and then we'll go into blush brushes. So for powder, let me pull out some of my powder brushes. The difference between a powder brush and a blush brush for me. Okay, and then we'll talk about stippling brushes too. So the difference between, how I can tell the difference between a good powder brush and a good blush brush, okay, because I think that's really important. For example, this is called blush brush. It's by Real Techniques. This for me is too fluffy for a blush brush, for typical blush. When it's not as dense, it doesn't pick up as much product. Now, one thing that this has going for it is this tapered pretty far down. So keep in mind that the product sticks to the end of the bristles. So when you're talking about a blush brush or a powder brush, you want the product to stick to the outside. It's not going to go inside the brush as much. It's going to, well, not inside, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to go like down here. It's going to stay on the ends. So when I look for a good blush brush, I'm looking for one that's a little more dense, but it kind of goes out. You know what I mean? Like in comparison with, like, let's say this one, do you see how this one's dense and really, really packed and like kind of stuck in one spot, where this one kind of fans out a bit? So this would be my blush brush and this would be my powder brush for the density. Even though this is called a blush brush, I never use it for that because I feel like it just can't pick up enough blush. Another blush brush is from that kit. This is from that that Real Technique, not Real Techniques, the Tarte kit. You can see how fluffy this is. This brush was white. It's now pink because I've used it for blush. It is really good for putting on very, very, very dense, highly pigmented blushes, like really, really like super dense, like highly pigmented blushes. So you want to get a really fluffy brush if you've got a lot of pigmentation for blush. But for powder, I really like brushes like this. Another powder brush that I use a lot is this one by Dermablend. I got this, I think, off the Birchbox store. See, it's too fluffy for foundation, and it's too big for blush. So I really like this for powder. These can also be used for mineral foundations, with the loose powder foundations. Another one I like for foundation is the e.l.f. powder, not foundation, for powder is the e.l.f. powder brush. I use this one a lot. It works really, really well. Again, it's not dense enough for foundation. It's perfect for powder. It's really, really nice. Let me show you real quick. I'm going to get a blush out. It's really, really pigmented. Let's see. Where's one that's super pigmented? Okay, let's get out the City Color Be Matte Blush. These things are crazy. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Here's the swatch. Like, what? Clown face. Hello, clown face. All right, I'm going to pull this up real quick and show you the difference between the two brushes. So if I use, let's say, this really fluffy one, and there's no product on here. There's nothing on there. It looks like there is. It's just kind of stained because it needs to be washed. Okay, and we're going to use the very fluffy one. I'm hoping you guys can even see that transferring, but it's very, 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 very light. And this will make it so you do not go to clown face. But watch if I use, like, let's say this one here. This is Everyday Minerals. This is their blush brush. Hold on. And it's like straight to clown face. So I don't know if you can tell. I can tell the difference here, the difference between them. I could put it on my face, but I'm not trying to look like a clown. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just go for it, because what else are we, I mean, come on. Really? What else are we going to do except for do this? Okay. So I already have a little bit of bronzer on. I'm going to put this one, just see, clown face. Now watch this one. No clown face. See the difference? So this one is going to give me a nice blendable color. That one, I'm going to have to work, girl. I'm going to have to work it. Look at that. Insane, insane. So I'm going to have to use something like my hand to get that off, because it applies way too much. So you saw, did you see the difference there? I'm hoping that you did. So now I've got a blush that doesn't match my outfit, but who really notices that stuff anyway? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that made the point across about the two blushes very quickly. I just had to do it. I had to just show you, because it wasn't showing up the way I wanted it to on my arm. Like, you can't even see it. But like, this was the lighter application and this was the heavier application, but it works better on my cheeks. Another thing I want to mention about brushes while we're talking about that is finger swatches and brush swatches are totally different. So when you see people doing finger swatches, which a lot of people do on YouTube, you cannot take that for how it's going to apply on the face. All you can take that for is tone. You can't take that for pigmentation. You just really can't. Even for eyeshadows, you just can't. Because when you apply it to your eye with a brush, it's going to look different. And sometimes they can look the same, but for the most part, they can look very different. You can't count on that. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to say about blush and foundation brushes. Is there anything you guys that I missed? Oh, then we'll get, you know what, while we're here, let's talk about contouring, because I see some people talking about contour. Oh, and I want to talk about stippling brushes. So stippling brushes, I still haven't completely figured out stippling brushes and how they work. Maybe you guys can help me with this. This is a very, very famous stippling brush. I use this a lot for cream blushes. This is the e.l.f. Small Stipple Brush. This is the best stipple brush I've ever used in my entire life. It is amazing. It's the only one that I feel like I've figured out. Totally works. You dip it in your product, or you can put a little bit of product on your cheeks and then blend it out with this. This thing is stinging amazing. Christy's saying that she loves the stipple brushes for foundations. Now, my thing about stipple brushes and foundations is I feel like the foundation cakes up inside the brush. So I don't know. I have issues with it. I think I need to watch more tutorials with stippling brushes like this. This is a Makeup Forever one that we got. And I just don't know what to do with it. It's like they're very spaced out. I mean, I guess I could use this for powder. I don't know. It feels really soft. Excuse me. But yeah, I have issues with stippling brushes. I don't know. I still haven't figured out how to use them. So this one I'm not going to talk about very much. But I've heard really for stippling cream foundation on people with skin that is very, very damaged. So people with hyperpigmentation, people with acne scarring, things like that, stippling brush can be really, really good for just making sure that it's in there and really a very full coverage look. Now, because I don't need a full coverage look, I don't use that. And now I'm sitting here looking, and Helen says that stippling brushes can be used for foundation for lighter application. And then KJ says that she heard the Real Techniques stippling brushes are good. So I don't know. And then Deepa says, I have a doubt. Are stippling brushes better than foundation brushes, better for applying foundations? I don't know. I'm really more into the more densely packed foundation brushes than stippling brushes. That's just me. And then Annette says that the small stipple is perfect for cream blush and contours. Yes. And then Kay says, I'm kind of with you. I also don't know what else to do with the stippling brush. Yeah, I mean, I'll just have to watch more tutorials, I guess. Stephanie says, everyone loves them, but I don't know how to use them. Yeah, I'm with you. So we're going to kind of get off stippling brushes because I'm not providing you a lot of information with those. Nicole says, I just got the e.l.f. liner brush. I heard so much about it. We're going to get into liner brushes in a bit. And Christy says, the jewel fiber stipple brushes are the best for foundations like e.l.f.'s. That's good to know. And then Liz says she uses a stippling brush for a liquid highlight. So that's cool. That's good to know. That's smart. I guess for like cream and liquid stuff, that these are good. I guess. I don't know. Annie says, I watch Cora from Vintage or Tacky. She uses a stippling brush for foundation. I use her technique very often. She dots on her foundation and then buffs it out. Very cool. Thank you so much for that. Indie Kitty 1 Jen says it's for blending and buffing in foundation and cream products. Well, there you go. Thank you so much. There you go. And Simply Krista says she uses it for cream blush. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on from there and go into some contouring brushes. Brushes that I like to use for contouring specifically. Now, I get asked this all the time, how I contour. Let me flip over to my camera view so I can see what in the world I'm doing. So the way that I contour, this is the Japanesque brush. I saw this on Tati on Glam Life Guru's channel, and I love it. You take it from the top of your ear and you aim towards your mouth, like you're playing pool. Okay, so you're aiming towards your mouth, but you don't want to go all the way to your mouth. You only go to the middle of your eye at the very furthest. And if you're new at contouring, you want to kind of stick back over here if you can, and then bring it forward a little bit as you get more comfortable, because by the time it hits here, it should be barely there. It should be the most over here and then barely there over here into like the of your cheek right there, right like in the middle of your eye. So I really love this one because I feel like I can really get it where I want it to be. Another one I use is the e.l.f. blush brush. I really love that for contouring. I also use this for blush as well, but I use this for contouring. My favorite one that I've been using, I have not stopped using this. So for Yesenia, I got this in a, I think a BoxyCharm, and this is the Luxie Large Angled 504 brush. I'm like obsessed with this brush. It's pretty dense, so it picks up a lot of products. So it's not for like super pigmented products, but it really fits nicely for contouring. I love it, love it. So these angled brushes, I pretty much only use them for contouring, but every once in a while I use it for blush too because I like it. I feel like these brushes are too big for highlighting. We're gonna get into highlighting in a minute, but these are kind of the style that I personally like for contouring. Another option for contouring, or this can be used for like under eye, for concealer, things like that. This is the Pro Makeup Conic Kabuki by JCat Beauty. And this was sent to me, just so you know, but they don't know that I'm making this video. But this can be used for contouring as well, but it's going to give you a sharp line, so you're going to want to blend it out. You want one, if you're going to use something like this would be for placement, and then you would use a fluffier brush to blend it out. But this is also good for foundation. We're going to get into those in a minute for not foundation, for concealer. I'm going to show you some concealer brushes in a second because I'm going kind of from large to small. Got my biggest ones over there and then my baby brushes over there. I need a second for some coffee. And we're pacing ourselves pretty well. It's 10:30. I wanted to be at eye brushes by 10:30. So we're almost done with face brushes. I want to see what you guys are saying about the face brushes. Hi, Amy. I just saw you that you're here. Hello. I'm going to just scroll up a little bit. And again, if I don't read your comment on the show, please take a second to come back and type it in the comments down below, because I'm reading the chat window. The chat window does disappear after chat is over. So if you want your comment to stick, if you want me to see it, if you want other people to see it, please make sure you come back and comment down below. Let's see. I'm going to get off of the stippling stuff and go see if I can get into where we talked about blush and contouring. Let's see. Christy said, it took me a bit to get the hang of the stipple for foundation, but once I did, then I got a gorgeous finish every time. Nice. Yeah, I just have to practice more, I think. I think I'm totally with you. All right, let's see. Emily says, for contouring, I love to use either the Morphe G4 or the Real Techniques contour brush. Both are great. Do I have a Real Techniques contour brush? I don't think that I do. I don't have that brush. I should get that brush. Now you've convinced me. I need to get that brush. Ooh, I lost it. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Nikki says the e.l.f. blending is great for contouring. It's a must-have. Nicole says she loves the Luxie brush. Yay or nay, Nicole, on YouTube. Make sure you go over there and check her out. Hi, Amy. Beth Ann says, I just received the Luxie brush. It's great. Amanda says, I got the e.l.f. Studio Contour brush, and I love it. Wayne Goss says that you should leave part of the brush empty and clean. So, wait. Wayne Goss said that you should leave part of the brush empty so the clean end hits your face after and helps the blend. And what I do after I use something like this, if I need it again, I just take it and I rub it on my arm like this and try to get the product off and then use it for blending. Like, I know they have, I just saw on the show today, I've heard of these, the I forget what it's called, but it's like the little pad, and it's like, supposedly you could use a donut, like a hair bun donut, and you can kind of wipe your brushes off on one of those before you apply it again, which I think is really cool. Sephora's collaborating with that brand that I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. I have my script here. I should go look at my script. Since I have a resource on what that thing is, you guys are probably typing it right now. Let's see. Sephora, here we go. It's right here. Hold on. No, maybe not. Maybe it's not right there. Ah! You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I should just suck it up and look. Oh, Veramona color switch is what it's called. So when you want to switch colors, you can kind of wipe it in this thing. It's in the show. It's on whatsupinmakeup.com if you want to see what I'm talking about, the color switch. But yeah, I just usually just go like this. I wipe it off on my arm. I don't know. That's what I do. I don't know if that's right or not. Boston Barbado said, yeah, they've nailed it with the brush. Talking about the Luxie brushes probably. Or, yeah, Luxie. Nikki says, I love the julep brush for highlighting. It's huge, but it works so well. See, I can't use a big brush for highlighting. I feel like it's too big. Like I get highlight where I don't want it. KJ says, Luxie brushes are expensive, but worth it. I have not bought one, only have one from my sub box. That's where I'm at. That Luxie brush came in an Ipsy monthly subscription as well. Maybe I got it in Ipsy then, because I get both. I might have got it in Ipsy. I thought I got it in BoxyCharm though. I could totally be wrong. I could totally be wrong. All right. Sarah says, I like the idea of the color switch. Ooh, I missed it. KJ says, get the hair donut. She says, but be gentle. It does work though. And then I lost the one. I like the idea of the color switch, but it's, oh, I missed it. Come on. I'm trying to read it. All right. Sarah says, I like the idea of the color switch, but is it gentle on the bristles of your natural brushes? I don't know. I don't own it, but I'd love to see what other people have to say about that. All right. So now we're going to drying brush tree. That thing looks so cool. Have you guys seen that? It's like a big round spinny thing, and you hang your brushes in it like this so they can dry this way. When you're washing your brushes, this is something you guys probably already know. You never want to put them this way because the water gets down into the ferrule and it can make your bristles fall out. But you always want to either lay them flat, but ideally you would hang them this way. So let's see. Oh, fan brushes. Yes. Let's talk about fan brushes for a second. Okay, fan brushes can be awesome and they can be terrible. This is the e.l.f. one. It's terrible. It's completely useless. There isn't enough substance to it. If you're going to use a fan brush, get one that has a little more density. This is one by Eve Pearl, and this is probably the thinnest you would want a fan brush. And what this is good for, this is great for contouring. You can put it here to contour. You can use it for blush here. You can use it for highlight, and that's what I use it for. And it's awesome. For cleaning brushes, I use baby shampoo, and I go like this. I wet the brush, and I use baby shampoo, and I rub it in my hands, and I get all the yuck off, and then I rinse it off until I go like this in the baby shampoo, and it looks like it's clean, and then I lay them on a towel to dry sideways because I don't have anything to hang them. But yeah, I really love this brush. I don't use it that often. I don't reach for it for some reason, but I do love it. But yes, my advice on a fan brush is to make sure that it's got some density to it so that it can pick up some product. Another thing you can do with fan brushes like this is if you have fallout under your eyes after using eyeshadow, you can use it under your eyes to just gently wipe away any fallout. So that's another thing that you can do. Sarah says the Benjabel brush tree is fantastic. It stores flat when not in use. Ooh, mental note. Mental note. I'm gonna have to watch this on replay. Another thing that I wanted to show you too before we go on to eye brushes, because it's 10:33, is this Becca brush. I know there's an e.l.f. dupe for this. I feel like this could be amazing if you want to learn how to do it and put the effort into it. I did like it when I first got it, but I don't really use it much. And what I did was I used this side for blush, and then I used this side for contouring, and then I would go like this to kind of blend it out and sometimes swirl it a little bit. You know, I don't think it's necessary, but it's kind of fun to play with. It's kind of a novelty, in my opinion, this thing. You know, I got it on discount, by the way. I didn't pay 50 bucks for this. I think I paid 20. Something like that, 25 or something. It was on discount for some reason. I forgot why. I can't remember. But anyway, I didn't pay the full price for it. All right, so moving on to concealer brushes, because we're getting a little smaller here. These are some of the concealer brushes that I use. Again, we're going to go talk about Outer Beauty. This is the Tapered Refiner. This is the F176. I got the brush set that's like the smaller brush set because I thought that when I was with Cassie at IMAX, because I thought it was for eyeshadow, but it's not. They're too big for eyeshadow. But this one is fantastic for liquid concealers. This one as well. This one you can also use for powder concealers. This one I feel like is weird for powder concealers. I used this today for powder concealer. So, but it's, I don't know, it's very, very dense. One that I really, really love for powder concealer is this one from Real Techniques. This is the setting brush, but I love it for powder concealers. I'm obsessed with powder concealers right now. If you've never tried a powder concealer for under eye circles, oh my gosh, girlfriend, like I am obsessed. Obsessed. I don't even know what I did with it. So I tried to hide all my stuff so that it wouldn't be on the, oh, here we go, Bare Minerals. This one I got in that Bare Minerals. I have a video on all the Bare Minerals stuff that I got from that $30 mystery box, but this is still available. It's in Summer Bisque. It's got huge, like awesome ratings on Sephora.com. And it is so stinking fabulous. Like the coverage on this is insane as far as my under eye circles. So for discoloration, I don't know how it would cover up blemishes, but for under eye circles, oh my goodness, girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can switch to the camera view real quick so I can see what in the world I'm doing. All right. So let's just kind of put this right here. Did you see that freckle? Did you see it go away? Watch, let me wipe it off. Okay. You see the freckle? Now you don't see the freckle. It's stinking amazing. It's amazing. Like obsessed. Wait, okay, let's make the freckle come back. Freckle came back. So for like mild discoloration, it's amazing. I love it. So anyway, we're talking about brushes, not concealers, but these are some different options. This is a flat version of a concealer brush. This is by Ofra. And this is, again, I feel like I'm painting my face. It's just not my personal preference to use flat brushes like this. I think I got this in a subscription box as well. One that I think is a little bit weird to use is this one by Outer Beauty. This one is the round refiner. It just feels weird under my eye. It doesn't feel like it's the right shape. And I don't know. I don't ever reach for this, like ever. I think it looks like I use it for powder foundation because I can see the powder concealer. But it's just weird. I prefer pointy or angled for under my eyes for concealer. Again, I don't have blemishes, so I can't speak to that. But for my under eyes, that's what I use. Let's see. Annie says she has that. She wants that Bare Minerals concealer. Oh, it's so amazing. Mine is in Summer Bisque, is the name of the shade, and this one it's called the Multitasking SPF 20 Concealer, and it's so amazing. I don't have any e.l.f. concealer brushes. I don't own any of that size. It is 1037. I want to get into some. Yeah, I prefer Nelly. I prefer them too. The fluffy brushes for that. Annie says that Jam Beauty, Jessica talks about loose powder foundation. I like loose powder foundation, but I can't get it to build up to full coverage. If that's something that you like. Sometimes I'll put on like a BB cream, and then I'll use the powder foundation to beef up the coverage. I don't know why my dog is barking. I'm gonna let my husband take care of that. e.l.f. does not currently have a powder concealer on their website. That's good to know. I'm sure they will come out with one eventually. Helen says I use Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush for concealer, it's like a tiny little foundation brush. Cool, man. All right, let's go into eyeshadow brushes. Now I have a stupid amount of eyeshadow brushes because I love me some eyeshadow. So the first thing I want to talk about is, let me get the brushes that I use, my favorite ones for this particular purpose, which is, let's grab this one because this one's weird. Okay. All right, so for putting color up into my crease, these are the kind of brushes that I like to use. This one is phenomenal. I use this one for so many years. This is called the Ego Tools Highlight Brush. Oh, and by the way, another thing I forgot to tell you, highlight. This one, where's the Ego Tool? Not Ego Tools, where is it? I'm having my Real Techniques one. Hold on, I just had it 2 seconds ago. Oh, right here. I use this also for highlight. I love this one for highlight as well. This is fantastic for highlight. I also use the fluffy brushes, these kinds of brushes I'll get into a minute for highlight. These actually also work for highlight. I just like to prefer a smaller brush for highlight. That's just me. But these right here are the ones that I use for packing up color into my crease. This one is my favorite, and it doesn't even have a name on it. Like, I don't even know what this brush is or where it came from, but it's my favorite, and I hate that it's my favorite because I don't know where it came from. And it's just perfect for getting right up into the crease and getting color up there. It is domed, so you've got your bristles coming down here, so you can get a lot of color on here, which I really, really, really love. And then this one here is similar. I don't like it quite as much because it's shorter, but this says BRCN09, and it's by Coastal Scents. It's their crease brush, but you want some density in your crease brush if you want to pack on color. And also, it also has to do with your eye shape too. Like, I have relatively big eyes. I don't have hooded eyes. So this is what works for me up in my crease, but depending on your eye shape, things may work a little differently for you. But this is what I absolutely love, is this for up in my crease. Now, this one here is also a good one that is kind of like, if I could only bring one eyeshadow brush with me, I would bring this one. This is the Real Techniques base shadow brush, and this came in a set with a bunch of Real Techniques brushes, and I absolutely love this. The taper goes down to here. I can flip it sideways and make it go up into my crease, or I can use it to pat on color, which is what we're going to be talking about next. One thing I wanted to show you here, this one is by JCat Beauty. This is kind of like, this one's really weird. I can't get it to work for me. It's too pointy. Like, if it was rounded, I would be so happy with this, but the point on it is just confusing. It is good for putting detail into the crease, but because it's so big on the outside, if you get too much product on it, then you can end up with product where you don't want it. So this is just a weird, weird, weird brush. I don't use this one like ever. And again, this one was sent to me by JCat Beauty. So again, they don't know I'm making this video. They're not sponsoring me, none of that. And I just said I don't like the brush, so that kind of goes with it. Annie's talking about Sonia Kashuk brushes. Also have a piece of her heart. I don't have any Sonia Kashuk brushes. I need to get some. Actually, no, I have one. I'll show it to you in a bit. Nellie says, I have hooded eyes and I use the e.l.f. blending brush right in her crease. That is wonderful. And Elise says, I just bought the crease blending brush from Rite Aid on a whim. You know what? It's really good. And you can get amazing brushes. So when you're looking at an eyeshadow brush, if you want one for your crease and you can't touch it, you're looking for a domed shape. You're looking for density, for getting color up into your crease. So let's talk about packing color onto the lid and what I prefer. Now, again, let me show you my favorite style. Hold on, grabbing a bunch here, grabbing a bunch. Okay, my favorite style for this is this one. Again, the no-name brand that I don't know what in the world it is. It's the same no-name brand that I've had forever. This is my favorite for packing on color under the crease. What you're looking for packing on color under the crease is something that's relatively flat and has a taper going down, because remember, your taper is where your product sticks. So you want one that fits your eyelid, how big your eyes are. So this one's perfect for my shape eyes. I do have this one by Eco Tools. I did use this for a while for packing on color. This is only good if you really, excuse me, you really, hashtag not sponsored, Steph. Sorry, I saw that. I love you, Steph. But this one, if you have giant eyeballs, this one is perfect. Or if you're going for an all-over lid look and you're trying to go really quickly, this one's amazing. This came in an Eco Tools eyeshadow brush set as well. One also that I do like that's similar to this, that I can actually tell you who it's made by. This is by Crown Brush, and it's two-sided. And this one is the C47 Crease Shadow Brush. And it does the same thing. It's got a stray hair here. What's up with that? I don't even know. I'll have to trim that. I don't know what's happening there. Like, it's just this random little hair. I'll cut it here. Giving my brush a haircut. I don't know what's up with that. Bonk. All right, moving on. So this is what I look for in an eyeshadow brush. That's me personally. They do also make these flat ones. This is by Ofra as well. This is number 11. I don't prefer these. They do work though. They do absolutely work, but I don't like flat brushes. I prefer fluffy brushes. I like the way that they feel. I do. I love it. This one also, again, Makeup Forever. They gave the set and it all had all flat brushes, which is not my favorite. But I do want to use them because they are Makeup Forever and they're supposed to be amazing and they feel amazing to hold. It's just this flat. I don't like the flat. I don't know. I just don't like the flat. Annie says, for packing color, Dual Infinity Crown Brush and Elizabeth Mott received in her Ipsy bags. Those are her favorites. But yes, this is what you're looking for is, for me personally, fluffy. I like, but not too fluffy. You want it to be, you want to look for that density when you're looking at packing on color. So these are kind of the ones, my go-to brushes for that. Annie says she uses Crown Brush that I'm holding for packing color. This one right here. Wait, Crown Brush. This one right here. Right there. And it's fantastic. It's wonderful. Now this one is for detailing up in the crease. We'll get to that in a minute. We're at 10:44, so you got to keep it rolling. For blending. Blending. I'll just show you a couple of examples for blending. These are excellent blending brushes. Again, reaching for the Luxie brush. This is 205 tapered blending. Do you see how it's not dense? It's got the bristles are longer and it's not dense. This is good for blending out color. Like if you have, you know, you're just trying to get the colors to go together. You've already applied everything and you're just trying to get them to work together. This is the kind that I look for, kind of longer. This one is by Everyday Minerals. This is also a really good one. You're not going to want to pack color on with these because color isn't going to go on unless you have a super highly pigmented shadow. Then that's going to work for this. But yeah, I don't use these that often because I feel like they don't push the color around enough. Like I need something that's got some oomph to get that color to move. And when I need a color to move to blend, this is the Deluxe Crease Brush by Real Techniques. I use this one to blend out the shadows to get them to work together, where these would be to kind of make product, like a dense product, kind of go away and blend in other colors. This one would be, if you want that color really to move, it has to stick to your skin. Krista says that Luxie brush is her favorite. Awesome. And she uses it to put on her transition shade. Exactly. This is really good. That is good. That's true. So put it on for very light application. So a transition shade it would be perfect for. Absolutely. But yes, I feel like I need something with a little more oomph to get that shadow to push around. Because if it doesn't have enough oomph, it's just going to either wipe the product away or it's just going to very gently brush it in. Lisa says, I must be packing colors wrong. They never seem to be as intense as I expect. Okay, so if you're feeling like they're not being intense, you definitely want to make sure your brush has a lot of bristles in it. And you want to make sure that you hold your brush toward the back of the brush. You don't want to hold it up here because you're gonna, like my friend Sandra at Sandra Loves Makeup, she says she's always rubbing her eyes raw. And I think that it's because she's holding her brush like a pencil way up here. Hold it back here and you'll be able to get the product to apply nicer. You don't want to push. You can also wet the brush. That's one thing you can do. But one thing I definitely warn you about wetting brushes is some eyeshadow products do not hold up to water well. You will end up getting hard pan on it and you will ruin your shadow. So it's really important to test a little corner of your shadow, of your actual eyeshadow pan with a little bit of the water on your brush before you rub it all over to see if your shadow can hold up to being wet. Another option is using the mineral shadows. Mineral shadows you can get a lot more product on than a pan shadow. Guys, my husband's down there good. I just heard my son go, ah! So I'm hoping everything's okay down there, but he's down there handling it. But yeah, it might be that just the quality of the shadows you're using too, because like a lot of the drugstore shadows that I own, I have to fight with them to get them to work. And people will try like a drugstore shadow. I'm not saying all drugstore shadows, but some drugstore shadows, especially the ones in the palettes. I'll be like, why can't I get my eyeshadow look to look good? And it's not even your fault. It's the shadow. The shadow is just terrible. Hi, Ashley, good to see you. So you just have to be really careful, you know, and not careful. Be careful with the water. Another thing you can do is spraying setting spray on your brush and then dipping it into the shadow. But the same thing with water. Just be careful that your shadow can handle it, the moisture, because it could cake up your and ruin your shadow. So just be careful with that. All right, and you can also use your fingers for more color impact, Jane Nesta says, Jeanette. So that's very true, but the problem with fingers is fingers are big, at least mine are, and I have trouble placing the shadow exactly where I want it. I usually make a mess out of it, so I have to use a brush to kind of get rid of things that I don't want, or you know, blending it out. Another thing is the makeup sponges. The little sponges really work well for a lot of people, and I haven't used them because I don't know why. They work fine. I have a friend that all she uses is little makeup sponges and her eyeshadow looks come out amazing. She's an artist, but you know, her eyeshadow looks come out amazing. All she uses is makeup sponges, so that's another option. But Elise says, Jen, can you do a life live chat life hack topic. Oh, that would be interesting. Yes. That's a good idea. I will totally take that, Elise. Absolutely. And Sidra says she has the hardest time blending shadows, especially with their hooded eyes. So you want to get two different kinds of blending brushes for your hooded eyes or for any eyes. You want one that's fluffy, but you also want one that's a little bit more dense. And then just kind of play around with it. So those are kind of my suggestions on those. How says, I was wondering why my eyes are always raw. Exactly like a pencil. Exactly. You just gotta give it a break, man. It's kind of like I have a little girl that I teach, and she uses dry erase markers, and man, she just smashes down on that dry erase marker like it's the end of the world, and she just has to smash it or it's not. And she ruins the tip every time. Like every marker you give her, it's ruined. And I can't get her to like lay up. It's like, chill out, dude. And I've showed her, you just have to go like this. It's okay. You can just go like this and the marker will work. Just, chill. And it's the same thing with eyeshadow brushes. You can build it up. Most eyeshadows you can build up. So start with a light application and build up and hold your brush way back here. All right. Let's see, I'm going to read some of these comments. Nikki says, I have close to or I have hooded eyes and I have to find a brush that fits right in my socket. Exactly. That's really, really important. The Gutless Wonder says, I only wet shadow when I'm going to use it as a liner. I find that using either Primer Potion or NYX White Primer and Milk Pencil. Yes, that can help as well. Absolutely. Betty Ann says, I shared your video on my blog, Beauty Native Style. Hi, Beauty Native Style. I read your blog. I subscribe to your blog. I read your blog all the time. Beauty Native Style. Oh my gosh, I read it all the time because I get subscription things from when you told me about it a long time ago. So I read your blog all the time. I don't ever comment. I just read it. I should comment sometimes. Elise says, Jen, give the props at Nikki for the life hacks tip. Yes, Nikki's amazing. Nikki's 6543. Like, she's amazing. She needs to start a blog or something because she's full of incredible amount of information. Christy said, let's see, thanks, Terry. Definitely check out your video. Christy says, I use this little sponge application for ColourPop shadows. Ooh, that's a good idea for the cream eyeshadows. And then Helen says, Wayne Goss says that you are such a Wayne Goss fan. I am too. Says, let the brush do the work, but it's hard to do. He talked about how gentle we are working on someone else's face, but how harsh we are on our own. Absolutely. Man, Wayne Goss. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Moving on. We need to move on a bit to defining brushes. Defining brushes. Okay, I have a ton of these little guys. Okay, these things, I love them and I hate them. I have a love-hate relationship with defining brushes, except for this one. Speaking of Wayne Goss, this is my Wayne Goss number 20 brush. It is made in Japan. It is a natural hair brush. This thing's amazing. I got it in a Beautylish Lucky Box, and I was very lucky to get this brush. The reason why I love this is it's domed, it's pointed, and I can get right up in my crease. And it's very, very fine. Like, unlike the JCat Beauty one, I mean, you're talking about a huge price difference here, but just the shape of it. Where'd the JCat Beauty one go? I lost it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so you can see the points are pretty similar. But the problem is if you get product around here on the JCat Beauty one, you're just out of luck, man. You're going to have to make a mess. This one is nice and thin. You can really get it up there. Oh, my gosh. Jen, we need to talk about value sets. Value sets. I'll tell you real quick. Real Techniques, the eyeshadow brush set is fabulous. The value sets from, I would recommend either one of the ones from Outer Beauty. They're amazing, especially the face one. The face one's amazing. The Eco Tools eyeshadow brush set, the one that comes in the roll, is amazing. Who's that? I missed it. Something about a love-hate relationship with Wayne Goss. Oh, here it is. Beauty Bang Bang says, I love-hate relationship with Wayne Goss. His clickbait titles and new product videos that don't really show the product kill me, but he's got some great tips. I feel you, girlfriend. I feel you. All right. So anyway, so these are really nice for detailing, for getting a product exactly where you want them, but they're so small that it takes forever to get it to do what I want to do because I have such big eyelids. But if you have little eyelids, you need little brushes like this. Like, you must have them. This one is called the Rock and Roll Brush by Bare Minerals. I got it in that $30 kit as well. It's like a mystery box. This one's similar to the Wayne Goss one, but I like the Wayne Goss one better because it's just a little bit thicker. So I feel like it picks up a little bit more product and gets exactly where I want, where this one is more for like a cut crease. Have you seen people do the cut crease where it's like a straight line? This one's really good for that. But like for placing like dark shadow for like a smoky eye, This is really good for like the outer corner or for placing an inner corner highlight exactly where you want it. These things are amazing. I really, really like them. This one is teeny, teeny, teeny tiny. I don't use this much because I have big eyelids. I don't need something this tiny, like for the most part, unless I'm like, I don't do like eyeshadow art. Like if I did eyeshadow art, I would probably use that one. But yeah, I mean, and like this one here from Eco Tools is really good for getting up in the crease. And if you end up with a line in your crease, you can always blend it out a bit, like to deepen up and really make it dark, and then just blend it out with one of the 2 fluffy brushes that I showed a few minutes ago. Sidra says, I got the Real Techniques eye set. Why it took me so I got the Real Techniques eye set. Why it took me so long to buy it, I have no idea. It is fantastic. It's wonderful. And then Sidra says the Real Techniques one is perfect for detailing the lower lash line. And that's another good point. That's why I'm so glad I have my chat window. These are really good for the lower lash line, especially these like really tiny ones. This one's even pretty good for the lower lash line, but it can make a mess because it is bigger. But like these two, especially this one, I used to use this for lower lash line all the time, because a lot of people feel like you need to use an eyeliner on the lower lash line, but really using an eyeshadow can look absolutely beautiful on the lower lash line, especially if you've got what you call it, if you're using that same color like to detail up here and then you use it on your lower lash line, it's beautiful. Beth the Beauty Hall 411 on Instagram, amazing Instagram channel, she says, I love the Real Techniques little detail brush for her inner corner. Yes, right there, baby, right there, baby. And then KJ says she uses that for the inner corner, the itty bitty one. All of them for inner corner. Christy says, I use the small Real Techniques brush for smudging liner on her lower lash line. And that brings me to the smudger. This is the only smudger that I own. It's by Victoria's Secret. That's how old this thing is. But I use this to smudge. I don't use it that often, but when I get in a mess and I need a smudger, it works. I don't use it that often though. Nice. Nellie says she's doing her makeup right now. All right, I need to get some coffee because my throat is killing me. Oh, we've only got 4 minutes left. Ah! Oh no, my battery's dying. Why is my battery dying? Did I never plug this in? Hold on. I never plugged in my plug here. Oh, there we go. All right. It says my battery's running low. Like, what? I'm like, what? Okay, now we're good. Okay, the last part that I want to talk to you guys about is brow brushes and eyeliner brushes. This is the last piece here. So let's start with brow. Okay, so for brow, this is actually my favorite. This is actually my only Sonia Kashuk brush that I own. For brow brushes, because I do have thick brows, I like to use one that's a little bit thicker to pat into my brows. This works mostly for powder. If I'm using for a cream brow product, I'll use an angled brush that's a little thinner, like this one here. This one is by Essence. And this is supposed to be for eyeliner, but I use it for brows sometimes. I have used it for eyeliner as well. But it's a nice brush. It's very gooped up. I need to clean this one really bad. Okay, these angled brushes are really, really nice for the brow. There's also ones that aren't angled that work well, but I really like these. This one here, the Real Techniques one, this is the brow brush that came in the kit. It's very thick. So if you have thin eyebrows, this one is not going to work very well because there's going to be too much product that picks up. But it works well for me because I do have thicker brows. So I'm fine there. Now, ones that I don't like are ones that are flat. I feel like that it's harder to get it where I want it. I don't know. I just like the ones that are angled better for my brows. That's just a personal preference. This is the flat eyeliner brush by Ego Tools. I don't really like this one either. I just feel like it's not, well, I definitely don't like it for eyeliner. This thing's way too thick for eyeliner. Like I would never use this for eyeliner. Quickly talk about lip brushes. I don't use lip brushes. I don't use them. They drive me nuts. I don't use them. Thin brow brush. Let's talk about, this is a Sephora Professional, but the number I think is rubbed off. Number 12. This is the makeup, JCat Beauty. This, I mean, really what you're looking for is just one that's thin. Like you can find, look at it online. You can totally see it. Oh, another one I wanted to show you. This one right here is really cool. This one is by It Cosmetics. And this one might work for you. Do you see it? Look at this. Look how cool that is. This is perfect for brows, and it really applies very nicely because of those spaces. It applies super nice. Like I love this brush, This one, it doesn't have a name on it, but you can kind of see what it looks like. And then this one is good for getting up in the crease. I think it's supposed to be used for like eyeliner and stuff, but it's too thick for eyeliner. Speaking of eyeliner, let's talk about angle brushes for eyeliner. You have to be really careful because the bigger the brush, the longer your line's going to be and the less control you're going to have. So ones that I really like for eyeliner, this one's supposed to be for brows, but this is the Pro Makeup brush by JCat Beauty. This is number 20. Again, JCat Beauty, hashtag not sponsored, was sent to me, but hashtag not sponsored. But it works really well for eyeliner. The angle, but this is like, would be like for gel eyeliner, or if you use like an eyeshadow as eyeliner. Whoa, that's an interesting language. I'm looking at this comment like I can't read that, but that's really cool looking. This brush is double-sided. It has a spoolie on the other end. So I probably need that right now. There we go. Hopefully that worked out well. But like for example, this one here, this is the Essence one. This is too big, like way too big. Where's the other one? It's like way stinking too big. Like drives me nuts, drives me nuts. Oh, here's a couple more. This one is by Julep, and then this one is by Eco Tools. But if it's too long, like you got to think about measuring it up to your eye. Like you need something that's a little bit smaller if you can for angled brushes. This Julep one's perfect. That's the perfect size, in my opinion, for like a gel eyeliner. I also really love these here. The pencil ones, the bent ones are really nice for applying eyeliner. This one's by Tarte. It came with the Tarteist eyeliner. Really love this. It's Russian. Okay, good to know. Oh, he's advertising his chess channel. Nice. Well, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here, dude. All right. Anyway, and people here, most of the people here don't know what that is anyway. But I love these little thin ones for applying eyeliner. And they're also nice for lower lash line for applying eyeliner. They're really nice. Let me see if I have any more of those that I like. Oh, wait, here we go. This one here, this Coastal Scents one, this one's terrible. This is the BRC N16. If you can see, it's like frayed on the ends. So your eyeliner doesn't end up where you want it. It's got like random bristles. Don't get this one. Don't get this one. It's terrible. It's horrible. Helen says, I'm going to have to rewatch this video. It's hard to read comments and listen to Jen too. I know, it's so hard. And that's why I ask people, please come back and type in your gems. Please definitely do that. Nikki says she has that brush from Tarte and love it. Oh, it's fantastic. Boston Barbie Doll says, yes, do you just line them with it or fill it in? Both for eyeliner. I line it, well, yeah, I mean, I just kind of put it on, you know, like I take it and I flick it up and then I fill in any spaces that I have, not this one, but this one, not that one. That's a terrible one. Where'd the good one go? This one right here. These are really, really good. These are fantastic. So, but yeah, so hopefully that gave you some tips. It's 11:02. Hopefully that gave you some tips for different brushes that may work for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Unfortunately, I do have, well, not unfortunately, I do have to, I am going to go spend some time with my family. It is my my family day, and I don't want to miss out on spending time with them. But I do thank you so much for joining me today. And definitely, if you feel like I didn't read one of your comments, your comment is important to me, and I really want to read what you have to say. So please, after this chat closes out, it'll take about a minute or two for it to turn into a video, and then that's when you go in and type your comment down below so everyone can benefit from what you said that I didn't get to say, because that's really, really important to me. And I thank you so much for being here. This has been a lot of fun. It took me a while to figure out what in the world I was going to talk about this morning. People were asking me last night on Periscope what in the world I was going to talk about, and I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like laying in bed this morning. I woke up extra early just so I could think about what in the world I was going to do for chat this morning, because I need to know what I was going to do. So, but I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it worked out really well and that you guys liked it. I definitely learned a lot from you guys. Happy Sunday. Or whatever day it is, if you're watching this on replay. Thanks so much for being here. What else do I want to say? Don't forget to go to What's Up in Makeup for the video this week to see the newest releases. Don't forget to go to whatsupinmakeup.com to see the, you can click on all of the newest releases on the website to see where you can buy them. There's a forum over there. We can continue to chat over there. There's also links to the What's Up in Makeup Facebook page that we can go chat over there if you like Facebook. The What's Up in Makeup app is downloadable for our Apple and Android products. It is a free download. And yeah, thanks for watching. Mad love. And oh, and follow me on Periscope, because we do this all the time on Periscope. We have chats about, I do Getting Ready With Me 4 days a week, 5 mornings a week. I do Getting Ready With Me, and then I cook cook 4 nights a week. We cook together, and then we do getting ready with me 5 mornings a week. So follow me on Periscope. It's an app. It's a Twitter company, but you don't have to have Twitter to do it. You can just download it to Apple or Android products, I believe. And thank you for watching. I feel like I don't want to go. I feel like I'm taking me a long time to end this video because I don't want to go because I'm having too much fun. But oh, box openings, subscription box opening videos are coming. I filmed BoxyCharm last couple nights ago when I filmed What's Up in Makeup. I'm going to film Beauty Box 5. I just ordered Glossy Box. I ordered a year's worth of Glossy Box thanks to the huge giant deal that Nicole from Yay or Nay Nicole came up with that she found. If you go to, well, go to the website and click on it there, but it's each for a year. I got them for $8 something a box instead of $21 a box. So excited to start getting Glossy Box thanks to Nicole. So more subscription box openings are coming. I'm going to chill out on the products sent to me. I'm not accepting any more products sent to me except for the one from Oprah. Other than that, I'm not doing that anymore for a while. I want to do more subscription boxes and more reviews of things you guys can buy in the stores. So I'm kind of refocusing my channel, and hopefully people will like it. But anyway, I'm going to stop procrastinating getting off because I'm having too much fun. And you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.